Yo, what's good? We're back with another one.
It's showtime.
You're the furthest anyone has ever been from any human being.
That's what they say, but I have never calculated it, so I don't really know. I went around the moon 75 times, 150 hours, 6 days.
Do you think there's extraterrestrials out there, Al, as well?
What?
Do you think there's...
I've been asked that question hundreds of times. Do you believe in aliens? And I say, yeah. Have you ever seen one? I say, yeah, I have. Well, how have you seen them? Well, I said, I look in the mirror every morning. Because that's what we are. We are the aliens, but we just
think we're the thing.
We just think they're somebody else, but we're the ones who came from somewhere else. Because somebody else had to survive, and they got in a little spacecraft, and they came here, and they landed, and they started civilization here. That's what I believe. If you don't believe me, go get books on the ancient Sumerians and see what they had.
That's a whole different discussion now.
They'll tell you right up front.
Blown that right open.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's fabulous. We can't get into that.
The presenter cut him off, bro.
Surprised you didn't call him a plant.
The first Wiltshire crop circle has appeared, and it's going to kickstart the season like crazy. This piece of footage was filmed by Mark Breen. It's absolutely beautiful. You should go to his channel and check out these other stuff. But this is the crop circle itself. This appeared overnight on the 15th, and again, this is from Warminster, where I grew up. And I've got in contact with a farmer there called Julius. So in the next few days, I'm going to be visiting this site, and I'm going to be interviewing Julius himself. He's completely perplexed about what's happened here. I'm going to be going there, taking samples. I'm going to be taking measurements. I'm going to be researching the radiation in the ambient area, taking EMF readings, and I'm going to be logging the whole thing. And I will be making a mini-series on this specific experience. What a start to the season, mate. Celtic knot in nature. And it's bang smack in the middle of two circular tree formations, which is very significant in nature. It's perfect, okay? Wonderful. And the Celtic knot symbolism, okay, for those of you who don't know, it's eternity, the cyclical nature of life, and the interconnectedness of all things. Death, rebirth, and all that wonderful stuff. So there's quite a deep meaning there. So what I'm going to be looking out for is the woven nature and any sort of anomalous activity to do with the grain itself. And then we're going to also inspect the grain as well. So again, we're going to be taking radiation readings to see if it's higher than the ambient environment outside of it. And we're also going to be looking at the grain nodes itself. And down here is the mutation that happen in legit crop circles that people can't explain, where the plant fibers are so perfectly woven on the ground, not a single thing is split or damaged. It's perfectly laid down and bent, and the nodes elongate due to mutation with the radiation that's there. So it's pretty interesting. So we're going to see and see how we get on.
It's going to be another hoax.
Nah, bro. This one's legit.
We've just witnessed our first official UK crop circle of 2025, appearing on May 15th in a place called Gallops in Sutton Vene, Wiltshire. The design, a Celtic knot or witch's knot, etched flawlessly into the field. But is it real or is it fake? It quickly becomes clear this isn't a hoax. First, the intricate crisscross patterns seen from above, virtually impossible to recreate with boards and ropes. And second, as documented by YouTuber Caspersite and TikToker Interstellar Discussion, who both visited the site in person, the crop stems aren't broken, they're bent at the nodes, as if manipulated by some kind of magnetic field rather than physical force. Even more strangely, the nodes appeared swollen and elongated, as if they're mutated compared to untouched parts of the field, suggesting possible exposure to radiation or some unknown form of energy. So if it's not the work of pranksters, who or what is behind it? Could it be secret tech? And if so, what's the motive? A psyop? A signal? Or are we witnessing something far more exotic? A work of non-humans? maybe it's a message meant for us, or maybe it has nothing to do with us at all. It could be a mere marker for their own navigation through space-time, or just a residual side effect of something far more advanced. At this point, we don't know the answer. But one thing's for sure, whoever made this wasn't carrying planks and string.
We should do an episode on crop circles, bro.
Go check out our Deep Dives playlist. The subjects we cover are suggested by you guys.
So we've got some interesting news. Japan just might be the next country to go official with UFO investigations. A cross-party group of lawmakers led by Japan's former defense minister just submitted a formal proposal urging the creation of an official UAP investigation office. They want it modeled after the US. They want to track anomalous objects, they want to collect data and report the findings directly to Parliament and then the public. The goal? The national security and scientific transparency. So this comes amid rising concerns over unidentified drones, spy balloons, some allegedly from China, but Japan's skies are getting more crowded and more mysterious, and the defense minister says they are taking this seriously. So, could Japan be the next country to reveal what's in the skies? If so, we might be closer to answers than ever. And if Japan joins the US in formal UAP investigations, we could be witnessing the start of something bigger, a coordinated global search for answers, which could be very powerful and quite amazing, frankly. But anyway, the question is, are we ready for what they might find?
Seems like the whole world's on it at the moment.
They're getting ready for Bluebeam, bro.
This is really odd, guys. Basically, Google have completely wiped off a structure literally 6.6 miles off the coast of Malibu, which a lot of people have thought for years might have a UFO or alien sort of base down there, or even a secret military base of some sort. So off the coast of California near Malibu, the structure, which has been thought to be a government base because of frequent UFO activity around it, basically the place, Sycamore Knoll, has been known for years, but for some reason Google have just completely scrubbed it completely off Google Maps and Google Earth. And why would they do that? Why would Google Earth completely scrub this place off so people can't have a closer look at it, can't zoom in, can't do anything now? So if you've got any saved pictures of this area on Google Earth, keep them, because they've just wiped them off. This is quite strange, guys. I wonder why they would do that, because there has been various objects seen going into the sea in this area. Check this out. And this is actual footage of something within that area where this place is, of something going in the sea, guys. This literally is of that object that has been spotted. This was filmed by a submarine off the coast of California, thinking not too far away from potentially where that actual underground base that's just been wiped off Google was. Now that looks a lot like a TR-3B, so potentially the thing that's been scrubbed off Google Maps, Google Earth, which is Sycamore Knolls, basically could well be some sort of government or secret underground base. Yeah, Sycamore Knoll, underground the water, about 6.6 miles off the coast of Malibu, which is also where this was spotted going nearby, where this was spotted going in and out of the sea, guys, interestingly.
That video looked fake as fuck.
Nah, bro. It was filmed by a submarine.
The argument was there was no evidence of an ancient civilization from 10,000 plus years ago. This is before the discovery of Göbekli Tepe. Göbekli Tepe gets discovered known to be more than 11,000 years ago. That changes everything. Because now we know, yes it does.
That's
now, hold on. Because now we know there was an advanced civilization capable of a spectacular construction 11,000 plus years ago.
This is what, listen, look at the archaeologists in Turkey or in any civilization.
Okay.
They never talk about old civilization.
That's not true. Göbekli Tepe is universally accepted as being more than 11,000 years old.
I am talking now about Egypt. I'm not...
No, I understand, but the argument was that there was never any ancient civilization capable of spectacular construction 10,000 years ago. Now that they showed Göbekli Tepe is more than 11,000 years old, they know for sure that's not true.
Zahi's a clown, bro.
Yeah, he's a proper donut. Go check out our episode on Göbekli Tepe.
Speaking of the ancient ruins in the Amazon, I really want to talk about the Olmecs. So the Olmecs, they were the civilization that were thousands of years before the Aztec, Mayans. But even like the Mayans and the Aztecs talked about them like as ancient people.
As their ancestors.
They like discovered these giant stone heads. They don't look like South American people.
Wow.
Their features resemble a lot of like Africa and Asia. They think that they're the first in Mesoamerica to have a written language.
Wow.
Which would predate what we know thousands of years.
Yeah.
They did floating gardens.
Oh, cool.
So like on their lakes and stuff, they would literally have farms that were floating.
So
like really advanced stuff.
Yeah. Do you think they ever had a time back then where they can communicate with other people across?
I think so. Olmecs were, I think it was 700 or 600 BC. They just disappeared.
Wow.
Gone. And this was before any conquistadors, anything. So like even the Aztecs and the Mayans, they had legends about them, but they're like, we have no idea what happened to them. They was just empty cities.
They might have just run out of food and had to relocate.
Nah, bro. Something big happened.
I'm not big on conspiracy, but in New York this weekend, you had a Mexican Navy ship with people on it crash into the Brooklyn Bridge. 19 people injured, 2 unalive. And then some shit happened in Times Square. But matter of fact, look at this shit right here. Look at this shit right here. Can somebody tell me who that guy is? All right. So they're saying that in Times Square, everything just went dark. And that face popped up on the screen. And again, this is Times Square, the biggest tourist destination in the world. Why would they put that face there? You tell me. Tell me what you think. Tell me what they're trying to show. And then look at the color of his skin. What are they trying to do? And now the question is, who is that guy? Now, if you look at that image, it kind of looks like a video game. But the way things have been going, I don't think that's that. And honestly and truly, just like I stated in the other video about the Brooklyn Bridge, when people are about to do something to a city, inside a city, what do? They mess with the highways and bridges, or they get you ready for a cyber attack.
Looks like the screens were hijacked.
Yeah, bro. He's been named Max Headroom.
If you were watching your favorite show on November 22nd, 1987, you might have been interrupted by this guy.
Max Headroom.
Well, not exactly him. During WGN's 9 o'clock news in Chicago, everyone's TV went black. And then they saw this, a figure dancing around in a Max Headroom mask. The signal hijacking took place for 28 seconds. Later on at 11:20 that same night, an episode of Doctor Who on WTTV was crashed by the same individual. This time, it lasted for around a minute and a half, and he had quite a bit to say. Experts determined it would have taken sophisticated knowledge, very expensive and powerful equipment, and direct line of sight at both broadcast towers. Law enforcement investigated the signal hijackings but turned up nothing. No one has ever come forward to claim responsibility. The Max Headroom incident remains a mystery.
Can't believe they never caught them.
They probably did, bro.
This is the NVLink spine. 2 miles of cables, 5,000 cables structured, all coaxed, impedance matched, and it connects all 72 GPUs to all of the other 72 GPUs across this network called NVLink switch. 130 terabytes per second of bandwidth across the NVLink spine. So just put in perspective, the peak traffic of the entire internet is 900 terabits per second. Divide that by 8. This moves more traffic than the entire internet. 1 NVLink spine across this 9 of these NVLink switches, so that every single GPU can talk to every other GPU at exactly the same time.
This guy's building Skynet, bro.
He always has that same leather jacket on. Thinks he's Tony Stark.
A unit manual for a Huffy mountain bike.
I have found a user manual for you. What would you like to know about it?
Okay, cool. Now scroll until you find a section about the brakes.
Sure thing. Looking for that page now.
I think I stripped this screw. Can you go on YouTube and find a video for how to fix that?
Of course. I'm opening YouTube now. This looks like a good video.
Oh, nice. And can you go through my emails with the bike shop and find which size hex nut I need?
Sure. According to the email from Bicycle Habitat, you need a 3/8" hex nut for your sprocket. I've highlighted the correct bin for you.
It seems like I need a spare tension screw. Can you call the nearest bike shop and see what they have in stock?
Yeah. Calling them now. I'll get back to you with what they have in stock.
I think my brake pads are wearing down. Can you check the manual again and see if it talks about them anywhere?
According to the manual, if you look on page 24...
Do you want to get lunch? Yeah, give me 5 minutes. Can you finish what you were saying?
As I was saying, if you look on page 24, section 2, you'll see how to replace the brake pads.
Hey, any updates on that call?
Yep, I just got off of the bike shop. They confirmed they have your tension screw in stock. Would you like me to place a pickup order?
Could you show me some examples of dog baskets I can put on my bike?
Sure, I can help you with that. Just give me a moment.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, bro. It's getting out of hand.
What's this skinny building doing in my neighborhood?
It's a street light, not a building.
Why are these palm trees so short? I'm worried about them.
They're not short. They're actually pretty tall.
Sick convertible.
Garbage truck again. Anything else?
Why do people keep delivering packages to my lawn?
It's not a package, it's a utility box.
Why is this person following me wherever I walk?
No one's following you. That's just your shadow.
That's unbelievable.
They need to stop it, bro.
Sam Altman and Johnny Ive just announced a new company called I.O. And for those of you who don't know, Johnny Ive is the person who designed the iPhone with Steve Jobs and the MacBook, which probably many of you guys are watching this video on right now. But what's the deal with this company? Well, we don't know much. The video they released is interesting. For those of you who watched it, you'll understand what I mean by that. And it doesn't really reveal any information. But here's what we do know. It will be a device. And the whole idea behind this device is that it's supposed to be as intuitive as the iPhone and all these other tech products we use every day, but it's supposed to be 2 to 3 times more efficient. Of course, using AI to drive that efficiency. Sam Altman did share, though, that he has taken home a prototype of this device and that he thinks it is the coolest piece of technology that the world will have ever seen.
It's going to be some sort of AI assistant that will replace your phone.
They're going to use it for digital IDs, bro.
The state government is about to launch a new form of digital ID that means you'll never have to hand over your personal details to anyone again. It will all be stored in the Service New South Wales app on your phone, which will prove you are who you say you are.
Scanning his licence, passport and Medicare card, in less than 3 minutes, the minister proves he really is Victor Dominello.
This is unquestionably the Holy Grail.
This is your first look at the state's new digital ID.
This is a huge step forward in giving back people control over their data, control over their identity.
Personal credentials will be stored on your device. No IDs need to be handed over. And that means keeping your address and birth date to yourself. If you need to hire a car, rent a property, set up a bank account, check into a hotel, or prove you're over 18 to buy alcohol or attend an event.
But how can I trust you are who you say you are? Well, you'll need to take a selfie, which will be cross-checked against other forms of ID you've submitted, and when there's a match, you're good to go.
The technology will be opt-in and should be available later this year.
We're fucked, bro.
Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only.
For the first time, we actually have $1 million gold bar this year. This gold bar, 400 ounce, 12 kilos, could have been bought for $14,000 in 71, and now it's $1 million. But, you know, what it really tells us is that you bought a 400 ounce bar for $14,000 in 1971, and now in 2024, you get 6 ounces of gold for the same amount. And that shows you the destruction of paper money. No government ever tells you that the money in your pocket is going down every day. Everybody just talks about inflation, but inflation is nothing else but a falling currency.
Currency's falling because it's being skimmed, bro.
Yeah, Visa and MasterCard are weakening currencies with every transaction.
Why does the United Kingdom have the most expensive energy prices in the Western world?
That is a good question. The answer is complicated, but the biggest single part of the answer is that the energy companies are ripping us off. So I suggest that rather than criticize renewable energy, you go to the companies that are ripping off ordinary taxpayers.
Well, let's think about that, because Chris O'Shea is the CEO of Centrica, which is the parent company of British Gas, said today net zero will definitely not reduce the price of electricity.
Look, Centrica is one of the companies that is ripping you off. Obviously, they're not going to tell you the truth. Just like I'm afraid GB News isn't going to tell you the truth because you're owned by Paul Marshall, who is a fossil fuel magnate.
Yeah, fuck Centrica and fuck GB News.
Yeah, bro, they're bought and paid for.
Do we now know exactly what was happening here? Well, maybe we do. In January 2024, essentially all of Miami's police department was called to this shopping center after reports. The place was swarming with police, the locals going crazy, people in the shopping center running around like absolute madmen. Have you ever seen this amount of cops somewhere before? Let alone this amount of panic. When this all broke, it raised a lot of debate online of what actually happened. The official report that later came out was that there was teenagers setting off fireworks inside the shopping center, which makes sense why people would be running and panicking. It could have been an attack or a bomb. And I get a lot of police, but that much? But playing devil's advocate, the amount of bad stuff going on in the world at the moment and potential risk of an attack, no wonder they'd send this amount of people. But photos started coming out and videos online emerging of what people actually saw, with many people claiming there were 7-foot-tall aliens inside the shopping center and something not human. Now, what actually happened could be somewhere between the two, and actually neither. Most people online are theorizing that it was a mass case of hysteria. Hysteria being a mass psychological illness where multiple people experience a similar thing. Is real. In 1518, a whole town of people just started dancing for an entire month. Another time, there was a coven of nuns who just randomly started meowing and couldn't stop. What caused it here in January 2024? What actually caused it? That's what we don't know. I mean, could it be somewhere between the lines? Was it literally just as simple as we're being told? Or a lot more?
People danced for a whole month.
Yeah, bro, they danced themselves to death.
It's the dancing plague virus. Wait, it's in Uganda right now. There's like 300 cases. There's a virus going around where it like messes with a person's muscle and nerves.
And they make them dance.
It looks like he's just bopping up and down.
Word.
Yeah.
What else, dude?
But I just realized that's been happened in history before and it's just repeating.
Yeah.
One day a girl was on the street and she danced until she...
Yeah.
And a bunch of people started following that and it probably killed 400 people. But that person in Uganda finally caught it again and now it's spreading. Right now I think it's 300 cases, usually targeting for some reason women and girls first.
Just stuck in an emo?
Look.
Damn.
Yeah, he's literally bopping up and down.
That literally happened long time ago. I believe it was Germany. They literally danced for days. You think they started dancing, they couldn't stop. No. They danced for days until they...
Literally
that's
no food, no water, no breaks in between.
The theory goes, what made them dance so much or what gave them the delirium to dance? No, that's another theory. No. People thought like, oh, they got cursed and they were just stuck and they kept dancing.
It's crazy there's still cases of it.
I think we're just doing the stanky leg, bro.
Yale has posted the Voynich manuscripts to the internet. Congratulations, Yale. 10 out of 10. You can't figure it out, make everybody else do it for you. It is a very solid idea because what starts happening? People start flooding in. Shit starts happening. Things start to come out about the Voynich manuscript and what the fuck could possibly be the tea. First and foremost, there was a group of people that were like, this is calfskin parchment. We can carbon date this, and we should. So they take little scraps off of the corners and they take them to the lab and they do the lab shit. And the lab shit says that this book, the paper, actually dates back to the 15th century, which is a huge discovery because it makes Wilfred Voynich look like a motherfucking liar. It makes him look like a fucking idiot and a moron because he was over here thinking Sir Kevin Bacon or whatever the fuck his name was the one that wrote it way back in the 13th century. He was over here saying this monk, this, who wasn't allowed to be a scientist, that, I think this is his secret book, hello, and took it on that book tour, tried to sell it for $100,000. And now we carbon dated the pages and we're like, where did you get that idea?
I've never heard of this before.
Come on, bro.
I don't know why no one talks about the Voynich manuscript, because it's arguably one of the most fascinating things I've learned about recently, and it's been described as the coolest thing I've ever seen by the people who have tried to decode it. Here's what we know. At some point near the end of the 15th century, someone, we don't know who, wrote a 240-page book in a language that no one knows or has been able to decipher. Inside the manuscript, you'll find images of plants, astronomical and zodiac diagrams, biological drawings of women in a mysterious liquid, roots, vessels, and containers that may have been used for medical reasons. But a lot of these drawings, specifically of the plants and the constellations, aren't known to us at all, with some people theorizing that they're from another world and others dismissing it as just fantasy. On top of that, there are hundreds of pages of text in this mysterious language. The manuscript has disappeared and reappeared throughout history, but was rediscovered in 1912 by Wilfrid Voynich. Since then, there have been many attempts at trying to decode it, but to this day, its purpose and its language remain a complete mystery.
I'm surprised they haven't used AI to decode it.
They're doing it at the moment, bro.
France is now building a $450 million mega prison in the middle of the Amazon jungle. And no, this isn't Brazil, this is in their overseas territory of French Guiana. They said that this new fortress, which is expected to open in about 2028, will hold some of their worst criminals like drug lords, gang leaders, radical Islamists, and cartel leaders. And that's not even the wildest part. This prison is going to be so deep in the jungle that inmates literally won't be able to call home. And that's by design. Because remember those coordinated attacks on French prisons that we covered recently? Well, France's justice minister said that the whole point is to cut off cartel bosses that are still running their entire criminal organization from behind bars. You'll have a maximum of 500 inmates with a special wing just for the worst among the already worst. So the question is this just a coincidence? Or is El Salvador's prison strategy quietly inspiring a global crackdown?
They need to change the whole prison system, bro.
Yeah, it's proper fucked up. Yo, what's good?
Hey, how's it going, you big cockney space case?
Shut it.
Listen, did you manage to shift that ticket for tonight's spiritual gathering?
Nah, mate, it's all yours. We're celebrating. We just hit 100,000 subscribers.
Oh, nice one!
Yeah, mate, it's fucking nuts. It's gonna be a mad one tonight.
Cool.
For fuck's sake.
I'll catch you later, mate. Don't go changing, try and please me, alright?
Yeah, nice one, bruv, yeah.
Oh, nice one, brother.
Nice one, brother.
Nice one, brother.
I said, nice, bruv.
Nice one, brother.
I said, nice, bruv.
Fucking nice one, brother.
Nice one, bruv. Brother.
Fuck off.
Ted, bring that Polaroid camera out tonight. It's gonna get messy.